What's going on, everyone? It's time for another horror film thriller review. Today we're going to talk about Cube. This is a psychological thriller that's in the same sort of context as Saw and Hostel and things like that, just not as violent. So, Cube is released by the Future Film Project, which is an independent company that based out of Canada, and it was released September 9th, 1997. Written by Andre Bajalik and Warren Manson, produced by Colin Brunton, and co-written and directed by Vincenzo Natali, who's also did Splice, In the Tall Grass, Haunter, Cypher, and a couple others. And it's had a budget of only $350,000. So Cube is a psychological horror thriller there's a handful of people who get chosen to go through who basically get picked up and put in this weird escape room type contraption, which is just a big cube with random doors, and that you go through, and it leads to another very similar cube, just different colors, and each one has its own death contraption, and each person basically confronts their misdeeds and problems, and as they go, and they try to find a way out. It's very thought provoking film, because you never know who's telling the truth and who's not. And some people think they should be off on their own, and obviously that's a bad idea, because usually that's how most of the deaths happen. And but the way they work as a team, it takes them a while to realize where the exit is, and it's one of those films where it's pretty much really obvious where it is, but the characters overthink everything and do make a lot of wrong decisions, so it doesn't end well. I like these type of films, and it shows you how dumb humans can be, and when we're put in tough situations and stuff, and how rational thinking goes out the window basically, and then also you get to see a lot of people, the characters, egos and stuff like that, and other mannerisms and stuff that make them good and bad, and changes the plot as it goes. It's really interesting. It's a fun little film where it's almost like a torture film, but then once they start working as a team, it sort of comes a little bit better. And then as this film goes on, the deaths get more and more creative and violent. There's some gory scenes from really good deaths, and a lot of fun little snippets where the characters have conflicts with each other, and sometimes the way they get resolved is really ridiculous. But the ambiguity of how they got there, and the mystique of what the cube is never really explained, which is all left in a shrouded mystery, and that's always a good thing. And I really enjoyed most of its practical effects too, which is good. And also they do have some of the CG parts where someone breaks into cubes and stuff was actually not that bad too. The acting's really good. The story, like I said, is very thought provoking and well put together. I actually enjoyed this movie quite a bit. There is quite a lot of dialogue though, so be prepared for that. A lot of back and forth bickering and stuff. You get that in every type of film like this, and you can really see where the influence of this movie sort of influenced a bit of Saw, Hostel, and the torture horror craze of the early 2000s. And this was one of the more early films to do that. And I don't think this was really a big success at the time, but over the years, it's gathered quite the cult following. I know a couple years later they make Cube 2 or Cube 0 and stuff like that. So those ones will be interesting to check out in a later date. But this one was very thought provoking and interesting and a lot of fun. It does some of the characters you might not like though, and it gets a little annoying after a while. But for the most part, it's an amusing film, and definitely disturbing in some scenes, and very interesting in some scenes. So I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but I think it's still a good horror thriller to check out. So with that, I'm going to give Cube a 4 out of 5, only because I wish there was probably like a little more deaths and a little less bickering between the characters and stuff. But that's just more personal preference, though. So yeah, but if this sounds like something you might be interested in, you want to check it out or relive it, it's linked down below. The trailer's linked down below, like always. Also linked down below is my Instagram. That's where I was post clips of films and review in the future. All my stories. You have the film title, hashtag, some showing of film, the hashtag, so you're aware of it. Also, down below is my Letterbox at Derek P Reviews. That's where I post my first starting right after watching the film. So follow them, on those two platforms. Stay in the loop with this channel. Like this video, share some more people aware. Comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. And also, if you want me to review the sequels, comment, let me know down below as well. And if you have any other films or film franchises down below, film franchises that I want to hear my opinions on in the future, in any genre, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to as much as I can, and if I can find them. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. So hopefully we can find something weird, obscure, and odd, somewhat like this, together that you probably never thought of checking out, or so you hear my opinions on popular films and classic films and other things. Now, so make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell, because we're going to continue on with the thriller, horror thriller style, as I'm going to talk about Dream House, which is a weird horror thriller that has mixed reviews. So I'm going to check it out because I've never seen it. And I'll let you know my thoughts on that in the next video. So make sure you ring that bell. And yeah, but other than that, that's it for this one. So watch out for all those crazy kooks putting people in cubes and torturing them. And I guess I'll see you all in the next review. So until then, cheers.